snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. What is up, guys? It is the Sound Alchemist, and today I'm back to bring you some 40 facts on the Warhammer 40k universe. Now, I got a request from one of you guys on our Facebook page. That's right, we've got a Facebook page. If you don't know, now you know, I guess. We do have a Facebook page. We try and keep pretty active on there, although we're not as active as we were before, but I'll try to do better on that. So we post not just 40k stuff, but other avenues of gaming, tabletop, D&D, that kind of stuff. Also, if you want to see images of my armies or Gersh's armies, that's another place to go look. Or we do have playlists on the channel as well. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can also ask them over on our Facebook page instead of the For the Greater Wall videos. And we had a suggestion from, I forgot your name, but we had a suggestion that somebody wanted some lore on Chaos Space Wolves. Now, when I thought about this, I'm like, that's a pretty cool topic, because when I think of Space Wolves, at least, I feel like, nah, they're pretty loyal. Like, they don't really turn to chaos, and it's an interesting topic because when you think Space Wolves, back in the 30k era, back during the Horus Heresy, they were known as the Emperor's lapdog, the loyal, basically, executioners to the Emperor. So whenever the Emperor needed to quell a rebellion, bring a Primarch to submission, Leman Russ and his Space Wolves would always be called. And this happened quite a number of times, but a few of the known times, or at least two of the most notable times, was during the, I forgot, I think it was called the Night of the Wolf or something like that, when Angron was like, I'm angry, I'm gonna attack this place. And the Emperor's like, you know what? You're too angry. Stop being angry. And Leman Russ went over there. Eventually, somebody fired, and that led to a scuffle between the two legions, the World Eaters and the Space Wolves. All in all, there was no clear winner during that time, but Angron and Leman Russ did go toe-to-toe. And then the other notable time, which is probably the most notable time, was during the whole Magnus the Red versus the Space Wolves, all caused by Horus. Now, this was already when Horus had turned to chaos. This was after Magnus tried to warn the Emperor of what he saw, and led to the burning of Prospero. But anyway, that's a whole different topic. We're here to talk about the Dark Wolves, the Chaos Space Marine versions of the Space Wolves. And these Dark Wolves are led by none other than Skyroar. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. That's how I'll be pronouncing it. So if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. And with that being said, let's dive into this chaotic lore. When it comes to the Space Marines, the Dark Wolves, there is many mysteries amongst them. They are known to be a renegade Astartes warbands that some claim came from the great company of the Adeptus Astartes Space Wolf chapters. However, none would dare cast such a dire dispersion within earshot of any of the fearsome sons of Fenris. It is a general rule to never disrespect a Space Wolf, because that might be the last thing that ever comes out of your mouth. Now, there are some speculations that say that the Dark Wolves at one point were tasked with an impossible mission, or perhaps a punishment, to head on over into the edge of the abyss, and apparently that's where everything turned to the worse. Either they lingered there for too long, or perhaps the taint of chaos spread into their souls, corrupting the chapter from here on out. Whatever the truth may be, the one thing that is known is that the Dark Wolves are now considered renegades. They are also in possession of a number of heavy tanks and artillery, which they often bring into the battlefield to fight, known as the Company of Steel. The war savants of the Ordo Malleus oftentimes don't know if they already had these weapons of war before their corruption, or maybe they acquired them after the fall. However, one thing is known is that they often lead these war machines into the battle, and oftentimes they bring the fell blade, known as Aegis Visir, which they believe is the commanding vehicle of this company's war leader, which is none other than Skyroar. The Company of Steel is often the first line of attack that has been led on numerous assaults, falling upon the unsuspecting Imperial worlds like a rock slide from a towering mountains. The Dark Wolves have also participated in at least 3 major invasions of Imperial space, sometimes allying with the self-proclaimed Prince of Princes, Talaman. Now, if you don't know who Talaman is, it's okay because I didn't, but apparently Talaman is a demon prince of Khorne, the self-proclaimed King of Kings, Prince of Demon Princes. However, he's not as big as he claims to be, because for someone that I've never heard of to be that big of a deal, most likely that's not the case. However, it is interesting that these Chaos Space Wolves are allying with Khorne. On one such occasion, where the Prince of Princes was fighting alongside the Dark Wolves, the actual Space Wolves began fighting amongst them, trying to quell the uprising and trying to unvoice the suspicions regarding the origins of these Dark Wolves. And unfortunately, that's pretty much all the lore behind the Dark Wolves. This is a really great concept. Chaos Space Wolves is just an awesome idea that you can go into. You can talk about the Wolfen for one. Maybe that's another reason as to how Chaos has tainted the Gene Seed. Besides the Calyx Helix, that is, making them basically become werewolves, maybe the taint of Chaos has become more strong, like more overpowering or overbearing on their bodies. Something along those lines. Another thing to explore within the Chaos Space Wolves is what exactly happened. Maybe they were part of the Great Company and they were banished or punished, or somehow, some way they turned to Chaos, and maybe this has something to do with Leman Russ, basically going out to try to find a cure or something along those lines. But yeah, there's a lot of avenues to explore. The whole conversions of the models, I feel like is really great. The Space Wolves have such a variety of unique and interesting models that converting them could be a lot of fun. You've got Thunder Wolves, Wolfen, you've got the Contemptor Dreadnoughts that you can basically overrun with wolf pelts, or maybe even spiky bits. There's a whole lot of stuff that you can do with it, and it's a fun avenue to explore. Now, besides the Dark Wolves, there's also another Chaos Warband of Space Wolves known as the Blood Wolves. Now, this is something that has a lot of similarities with these. However, we'll look into that a little bit more tomorrow. So with that being said, guys, stay subscribed for more 40 facts, stay subscribed for more Warhammer lore, and of course, stay subscribed for more giveaways. If you guys like what we do here on One Mind Syndicate, don't be afraid to head on over to our Patreon and support us. A simple $1 a month goes a long ways to help you guys get more content. And again, hit that like button and comment down below what other suggestions you have for us. I am the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow.
Oh,